eventually you get absorbed in, and you are Sonic.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to No Repeat, a podcast where we pick 3 songs every week with no repeats and no do-overs to create a perfect playlist for every occasion life throws at you. I'm Taylor Olmstead, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Tyler Reed.
I really should have thought more about this one this week.
And Sean Evans.
How those first few tastes doing for you?
Yikes. Yikes.
Isn't it cute that Tyler kind of has a little curl going on?
Yeah, he's got a little swoopy curl in his bangs here.
He's got like a little curl. Yeah, I like it. Bring it back. Do it. Can you put it
Tyler's
back?
been bringing in the hair content on the Instagram, and I gotta say, it's nice to see his face every once in a while. I mean, we see his face every week, but the rest of the internet...
Holy crap, you just got mothered. You really just got mothered right there.
I paid so much money for those braces. The least you can do is smile.
Well, I've been talked about sufficiently enough for this episode. We'll just, That's not true.
You want to sit this one out, bud?
No. I'm prepared. This week, we are challenged to find the perfect song for cuffing season. Taylor, what's that mean?
I'm going to throw to Sean. This was his idea.
What does that mean?
Well, cuffing season is a time when...
A mommy and a daddy love each other very much.
No, it's
Okay.
even more disgusting than that. It's when people look around. It's kind of like Game of Thrones a little bit, but more sinister, right? Like winter is coming, right? And
So like Dune.
you don't want to be alone.
Topical.
So yeah, no, it is topical. That we are in the prime cuffing season right now. This is exactly, like
It's the first week of November.
it's right.
The holidays are coming.
Right. You don't want to be alone during the winter because it's going to be cold, but at the same time, you don't, this is kind of where I deviate. It's because I feel like there's lots of different ideas that happen about cuffing season, and I wanted to explore this with you guys a little bit more. But yeah, it's usually that fall time when everybody says, I want to be with somebody. So you really go after that. Maybe you have a strategy that you want to share with us or your ideas of cuffing season.
So I mentioned this to my boyfriend when he asked what the challenge was, and he did not know what cuffing season meant, which makes me wonder if it is a acquired slang that not everyone knows, because I always knew what this meant.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure, I don't know. I looked on Urban Dictionary. It's very easy to find on Urban Dictionary. The Urban Dictionary definition is the cold season when everyone's coupling up, so you settle for a new boyfriend or girlfriend way below your standards, which feels a little judgy.
Oof.
Oh, it's below
Urban Dictionary.
It's below your standards.
Yeah, that's a little judgy, Urban Dictionary, I think.
Okay.
I think it's just the impetus to get into a relationship as it gets cold out. That's how I read it. And
Yeah, that's my understanding.
And I will throw on top of that something that I have burned into my brain from the days when we thought that How I Met Your Mother was a decent sitcom, which is there is an episode of that show where the whole premise is that some characters have single stamina while other people are going into couple hibernation. And that is what happens at this time of year, where the singles are like, we got to go out, we got to do all the things, we got to meet all the people. And the couples are like, oh, we should just stay in and watch a movie. And that, to me, is what cuffing season is really. It's like the couples are like, oh, we're just going to stay in. And all the singles are like, I need someone to stay in with. Who's going to sit here and watch 13 going on 30 with me? This couch isn't going to fill itself.
That is hilarious. Let's finally break in this new sofa.
By which I mean, you sit on one end, I sit on the other, and we send each other TikToks wordlessly for 3 hours.
Oh.
Yes.
I was going to say, one uses the other as a footrest because the couch isn't big enough for both of you to put your feet up.
Also that.
Well, Tyler, you're cuffing, possibly, maybe, in the series right now. How's it going? How's your season been? You got a permit? You ready to go out there? You got your cuff and flannel on. You can see...
He's locked and loaded, baby.
Just to be clear, that was a stretch. That was a legitimate stretch, and I kind of forgot we were doing a podcast, but also accurately displays how I feel. I had a
You don't have to. Don't feel like you have to bare your soul on this show.
Let's go ahead. Let's rewind this a bit. Can you just ask me that question one more time?
Okay. Resident cuffing expert Tyler Reed.
That's a long shot, but okay.
The man with the New Year's kiss goal. Which is really romantic. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Thank you.
How's your cuffing season going? You got a license? You locked and loaded?
I'm not licensed to cuff, no. So I'm also, to be clear, not a cop. So what was really interesting was I had a encounter with like some people at work this afternoon who were just kind of like, "Hey, you want to join our friend group? You're like, we're all wacky and wild." And I was like, I mean, I need some friends. And at some point I had said something about maybe I hadn't like dated in a while, and they're like, "It's okay, we all like date each other. It's cool." And I was like, I mean. I think that they just sort of switched. Like I feel like a much more like high school sort of mentality where they just eventually everyone just sort of ends up dating everyone. But I was like, I mean, I'm looking for friends. So that was weird, but
So what Tyler's saying is he's joined high school marching band.
I've joined a polycule.
He will now.
Also, I have one of those GPS beacons that people use for hiking when they get lost in case there's an emergency. Do you want me to send that to you?
We're just we're gonna track his location on Find My Friends.
No, I mean my game plan as always is I catch feelings way too easily, so I have to be careful for myself. But I will throw out likes like it's nothing. I feel like I've been emboldened.
He's just perma swiping right. He been swiping right.
Yeah, well, let's take it easy. I think I have standards, and I'm not willing to go lower on that, which is why I've been single for like 4 years. Pandemic not included.
The operative word in that sentence is think.
What did you just say?
Nothing, I just burned you, it's fine.
Oh, okay, it's fine. No, to be clear, I realized that going into this episode was going to be a sizzler on me, so I'm...
No, I will take some of the heat on me, too. Because by my own doing, I have kind of, like, messed up my own cuffing season. Because
What?
Sean and I should be perfectly equipped for this cuffing season, right? We're both in long-term committed relationships. We have survived the pandemic with our partners. We've gotten some travel in. We're ready to like hole up again without getting too much cabin fever. Here's where I messed up. And by I mean we, myself and my boyfriend. We have dramatically overcommitted ourselves this winter.
Okay.
In the run-up to Thanksgiving alone, we have a funeral and 2 weddings. And then it's Thanksgiving, and then we have a week off, and then we're going to the UK for a week, and then we come back and it's Christmas. I do not have a single free weekend until January.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
There is no cuffing. It is all of the stresses of travel combined with traveling with your partner, which is in some ways more stressful than solo traveling and in some ways less. I think we can all agree. It just, you never know what's going to happen. There's so many variables. And tonight was the first night where we kind of had a moment to just like be at home. But as we record, it's Halloween. So we were also like doing trick or treat and kids were coming to the door. Not very many, but some. And we were like, watching a movie and getting up every 5 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes to pass out candy. And it's like, I was really yearning for the traditional cuffing season this week as we were preparing for this challenge because I am not going to get it this year. Not even a little. I just want to like sit on the couch and watch Gilmore Girls or something, guys. I don't even like that show. I would settle for that show if it meant that I could spend an entire Saturday on the couch.
Oh,
See, and I feel like cuffing season can really be curbed in some ways by just having platonic friends that you think are cute and you can watch TV with. You're like, what's a cuddle between friends? You know,
Says the man who catches feelings too fast.
exactly. I'm not saying it's a good idea for me.
right. What's a cuddle between friends? Oh my god.
Listen, I'm sure there's people out there who do that.
Sean, what's your cuffing season MO? I know you've
Oh god.
been very susceptible to this in the past.
Back in the day, I was like a deer, man. When the leaves started to drop, and I was looking, I was like, I need to find somebody. I'm not going into the holidays alone, and it's partially because I'm like I like to be needed.
Most people do.
But the other part about it is, we've talked about this on the podcast before. Remember the episode, "Songs for in the Parking Lot"?
Oh, yes, when you're escaping your family at the holidays.
Right, exactly. You don't want to go into the holidays without an ally in your corner. There's like a twofold thing for me to go in there because I am a sad person, and second because I need somebody to share my misery with because I'm also
very important.
right, and to the second part, sad. So I don't really I wouldn't say cuffing season is really the time where I sit down. I get that. Sarah was like, hey, let's go. For some reason, for the past few years, we've just gone to Jimmy John's on Halloween. Oh, that reminds me, I totally forgot to get my $5 burrito today.
Okay.
Oh, the night is young.
You gotta go to Jimmy John's.
Yeah, well, we've gone to Jimmy John's, and then we come home and watch a movie or something like Addams Family or something Halloween themed. And since the new Addams Family movie came out, they don't have the old one on anywhere, so it kind of was poopy. But we watched I don't know if you guys have watched
The new animated one?
What We Do in the Shadows. Have you guys seen that?
No, but I've heard it's excellent.
It's very good. So the season finale was so we watched that on Friday night with that because today was craziness. So yeah, I mean, I don't I like to do that anyway. It's the fall. I totally understand where you're coming from, Taylor. But now that I'm married, oh my god, cuffing season is like a real life reality. It's like a reality show for me. Like watching people. Like when you live in Washington D.C. or around parts, and you're just living in a city full of young professionals that are all of about the same educated level, it's just it's a show here around this time because everybody's I gotta get in there, I gotta figure it out because I'm only gonna because I work on the Hill or something and I'm only here for a few weeks and I'm gonna go home and I want to, show off to my friends that I blah, 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 or whatever. And God, it's so funny. You're totally right. It's not that people settle below their standards because I don't think that's what it's about. It's you're trying to find somebody. And sometimes you find people that are better. And most of the time was my luck. I was always able to find somebody that was out of my league.
Sean was punching above his weight pretty often.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it.
Your natural charisma, your zest for life.
No, that's not it at all. That's not it at all. But yeah, no, that was all. I was always that's what I want to do. I want to.
Your gauges.
I want to be. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. Right.
Yeah, they say, wow.
It was my gauges and bad attitude.
Encyclopedic knowledge of Futurama. That's what they want.
Yeah, exactly. Right. My ability to quote Bob's Burgers lines offhand, all the things women want. So,
I have so many things I can't say on this podcast right now.
With that,
this.
Before we go into song picks, I was curious about everybody's method, and I'm curious about how your song fits in to your cuffing process.
So for me, I was really kind of going on the desired outcome of cuffing season. Like, I was looking at I want somebody to spend these cold, lonely nights with. And so I was kind of leaning into the result, not necessarily the process of dating around and doing the search and all of that stuff, because that's the part I always hated. And I'm also now that I'm in a relationship and still very, very busy, I'm I really just want the cute staying at home in sweatpants part of the relationship, and not the oh well, we gotta go to this wedding, and then we gotta go to this thing, and then we gotta go do Thanksgiving with my family, which means we gotta do Christmas with your family, and just I want to just blissfully forget about all of that. And so that's where I was going.
So I think the most important part of this challenge, for me at least, was that is a sense of mutual attraction or mutual desire or general agreement about kind of what's going on here. We kind of understand what's going on. Some good level of consent, sort of, just being open with each other to some level. And so, just sort of I think just being real about it and being, I think that's really probably the best way to go about doing it. And I feel a really good way to sort of get you in that comfortable space of sort of talking about these sorts of things is just to have a little fun, maybe not make it so serious or so down tempo, but just we're doing this because we're trying to have a good time.
Oh, and then my song was, because I'm always in my feels. I kind of had that Tyler problem where, there's an episode, there's a character in Bob's Burgers, Alex Papazian, and he has a line where he says that he's in love with all the girls. Gene asks him if he has a crush on a girl, and he's like, I have a crush on every girl, Gene. And I kind of felt like that for a while. If you liked me, I liked you. And I liked you because I liked you. So I just wanted to find a song that was see, that's what I mean. There's no leagues. You're just...
No rules, just right.
You're just blooming. All right, well, with that terrible segue...
I guess I'll go first, because I apparently interpreted this very differently than you guys did.
I guess so.
You're in love.
This week I chose Strange Calm by Jasper Sloan Yip. Jasper Sloan Yip is a singer-songwriter. I don't know a ton about him. He showed up on Apple Music's new in singer-songwriter playlist this month for this new album that he just put out. It's a playlist I like to keep an eye on because there's always kind of a diverse range. And Strange Calm is one of the 2 title tracks. It's a double album. So this is the title track for the first half. And there are a few things that kind of stood out to me about this. I think, first of all, it speaks to what I was talking about earlier of kind of the goal of cuffing season, which is this strange sense of calm. And I love both the sparseness and the weight of the lyrics. There's 2 verses and a chorus, and it's real simple, but I love, I'm just going to read the whole first verse because it's very short. He says, "The city looks beautiful from here. I haven't left the house all day. I always want to be alone to watch the day sigh and give way. Your body looks beautiful from here. I force myself to look away into your reflection in the mirror, which turns to me with such a strange calm." It's just so simple and yet so powerful, which is what I love about a good singer-songwriter track. And I like that it's kind of about being with this person, having this quiet moment with them, presumably in bed or at home, but then in the choruses, it builds into this like big, lush, psychedelic thing with these harmonies and these synths. And it feels kind of like getting like lost in your own head for a minute. And then you kind of like ease back into reality on the verses. And I just thought that was such like a cool way to build a song around kind of a simple idea, because it is kind of a slow and languid and relatively long song. It's 5.5 minutes, but I think it does a nice job of playing with dynamics and playing with a mix of like simple lyrics and complex instrumentation to really just like take you to a place. And it makes me long for like lazy mornings where we're just at home. I'm like sipping my coffee, reading the news. Maybe we're watching something on TV. We have nowhere to be and nothing to do. Like, that's my favorite part of cuffing season, when it's like cold outside and you have no reason to go anywhere. And I think that's what this song kind of did for me.
Oh, this is a microwave song.
Explain.
Oh.
Because it makes you go,
This is, oh yeah, oh, ooh. First listen to this song, I was like, damn, this is like
yes!
This is a session. This isn't just...
I was worried
this is like
that you were going to hate
like
this
IPA,
because it's long.
It's a session. It's not even like, you don't like, this is a heavy, Tyler's, don't put this on around Tyler when people are around, because he will fall in love with them. Just because the mood is right. And I respect that. This is a heavy, that synth line in like 3:30 with the warbles, the arpeggiator.
Oh yeah, that's what made me pick this song. That synth alone.
Lush. Oh man, it's unreal. There's a sax in here too. Shout out. I see you. Yeah, no, this is
not a very secret sax, but it is in there.
Yeah, this is a vibe. God.
Yeah. So what's really funny about this song is that I was ready to... I don't think I was necessarily like, oh, this song is bad, but I was like, this is so far away from my perspective and like interpretation of how I would prepare myself for this challenge that I'm like, it can't... I had the perception of bad, but as you're like saying the words about it and I'm like listening to it and hearing it, I'm like, yeah, this is a really great sort of like sparse. I wouldn't say it's sparse, but it's, is it minimal? There's not a lot of things happening, but it's sort of waves of sound. It's sort of, I don't know, it's whatever.
It's hard to describe,
yeah. Yeah, but there really is a lot of stuff going on, like, even like Sean was saying, at like the 3:30 mark where there's like the synth going, you're like, ooh, what a nice like sort of little flash of color there. But I feel like this is almost too cool for me. You know, like I'm like sending the shaky text, you know, at like 9 p.m. I'm like nervous about getting the response, and I'm like, this song isn't helping me get there. Isn't helping the nervousness at all. It's making it worse because
see, I think this is what you're working towards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't the process of cuffing season. This is where you want to be.
Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely one of those, like, floating through space towards somebody that you are, like, trying to cuff or cuffed to.
It's...
Oh, I see you in this place.
I want to be in that place.
Yeah, it's Scott Pilgrim floating through space with Ramona Flowers.
But I will just say, in addition, I do think the idea of a strange calm, I think, is also an incredibly evocative as a lyric, and I think really does make sense for this challenge as well, because there is sort of like thousands of things going through your head, and you're just like, at some point, you just kind of like, and it's and ideally it's good. So I think that's also a really good choice for like a lyric and a focus of the song too. So I think I have to like listen to this now outside of this context and really be like, what an incredible song.
Yeah, he is a really interesting artist. I'm excited to dive deeper into this record. Like I said, it's a double album, so it's pretty long, but I've jumped around on it and every song has been great. So definitely check out Jasper Sloan Yip. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go, I guess.
All right, Tyler, what do you got?
This week I chose Please by Jessie Ware. stranger to this podcast, second entry of Jessie Ware's entry into this podcast. This one is a B-side off of sort of the re-release of her album. Ooh, God, what's this album called? What's Your Pleasure? So this is kind of getting re-released as a part of like a deluxe What's Your Pleasure album. And so this kind of came up this year, and it's really been an earworm for me. It's really just been kind of in there, and I've been trying to figure out a way to kind of put this on this playlist because I feel like What's Your Pleasure is a really good album, but I feel like it's a very I'm like, I have to listen to this in certain places, you know, like because like even like the title track What's Your Pleasure is pretty hot, as we discussed on this show before. But please. It feels almost like kind of like a Prince track with Jessie singing on top of it. It's peppy, it's energetic, it's got a lot of excitement, it's got like some great like sort of like that Prince style guitar, it's got an incredible like sort of like 80s synth, you know, it's very singable, you know, it's very easy to sing along to, lots of choral elements that just feel so exciting. But I think for me this is the perfect song for my cuffing season because I'm trying to, you know, I think, like I kind of said in my preamble, I want this to be mutual. And I think this song is very clear about what it's trying to get. And I think it's really kind of nice and progressive to really have a song that's just kind of like, listen, baby, you and me, we got a connection, we got something going on. And you know what? If we're making each other feel good, you do what you gotta do, I'll get mine, you know, like, we're all good, right? You know, like, maybe this will last a moment, maybe it'll last forever, who knows? And I think that's just really sort of, it's just sort of a nice sentiment that I feel like is just over a really nice bubblegummy sort of song that just gives me a little bit of strength, you know, gives me the sort of the pep up that I need to say the things to make my dreams come true.
Okay, so I'm going to address the musical elements first and then the challenge elements second.
Great.
Musically, I think you're spot on. I would also add into the equation Vogue era Madonna.
Yep.
Okay. Also good.
And some George Michael.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is very 1990 in a good way. I feel like this, like, late 80s, early 90s dance pop is having kind of a comeback at the moment, which I'm all here for. I've always loved that genre. Jessie feels totally natural on this. She makes it look easy. The choral vocals are doing a lot of heavy lifting on the chorus, and I'm fine with that. I think more gospel choir choruses, please.
She doesn't have to prove herself in the vocal department. We're past that.
And I think anybody who comes at this expecting that from her, like, that's not what this song is about. This song is about the groove and the poise. It's not about vocal acrobatics. And in that way, I think it's kind of perfect for what you're talking about, where you're talking about, like, you're just kind of out here, you're looking for something, you're like, you'll know it when you see it. It doesn't have to be a whole big thing. It actually reminds me of a night that we spent together before the pandemic. Really, the last time we did something big, like in public, Christmas 2019, my boyfriend and you and I went out for drinks, and we ended up in a bar that had a really good DJ, and we got up and started dancing, and you, like, it was truly like maybe 5 of us on the floor, but then when you got out and started really dancing, it got packed. And it was that kind of like cold Cincinnati night where, like, it's not...
Let's give myself a little bit of credit here.
It's not quite snowing yet, you know, but it's cold. Like, it could snow at any moment. And people are, like, throwing jackets into booths and, like, getting out on the dance floor. And we were having a good old time. And it just felt like you were really in your element there. And I could see how this song is, like, this winter, you're going to go out, you're going to go to a bar, you're going to have a couple drinks, do a little dance, and if you meet somebody, great. If not, you went out and danced and had a good time.
There you go.
And you know what? More power to you. Cuffing season doesn't have to be pressure.
I'm gonna cry thinking about that night now, Taylor. Thank you. Oh my god. You are just
selling Tyler as America's
It was a fun night out.
No, this is a fun song. I think it very much suits where you are. This is a very Tyler song for this moment. Yeah, just look at him go. God, he makes me want to dance. Just
listeners, Tyler is dancing in his swivel chair right now. I wish you could see it. It's glorious.
He's got some rhythm.
He's always had the rhythm.
He's got some rhythm.
I have
It got him.
No Shame, which is half of dancing. Is just feeling the energy of the music come inside you, fill you, and just God, that was horny as hell. Let the music flow through you. There we go. That was the words I wanted to say.
This guy. This episode is going to be like one of the sleeper hits. Oh, okay. No, that was great. I don't have any other musical text to add to this one. I think it's a wonderful song. I think you did a wonderful job of putting this on the playlist. Very well done. So this week I chose Gravity by Brent Faiyaz featuring Tyler the Creator.
She hold me down like gravity.
We on the front page of them blogs. Would you be mad at me if the whole world knew the shit we was on? It would be tragedy. My niggas be globe trotting like travel teams. You always in my travel dreams. Lace up 2, 3 stripes and I'm gone. But you just want me home. Shorty hit my jack like what the you doing? Bitch, I'm all alone.
You gon' press me now?
Bitch, you gon' stress me out and cuss me out? I had my fair share of women. Feelings don't catch me now.
Don't act like I'm average. You want me home?
Oh man. So I found this song originally because of Tyler. Because I like Tyler. I'm gonna spend a lot of time talking about Tyler's verse in here because it's like this song was pumped up on a lot of Spotify like makeout playlists. And I think Tyler's verse is probably one of the more romantic ones. But he in his verse he does drop the pie line, and he's used it in at least one other song that I can remember. We probably had it on here. I think he uses it in one of the Kali Uchis songs. I think the lyric goes along the lines of like, "I'd sell my bakery to have a piece of your pie," which God, it's so good. Like it just it's stuck in my head. But I like how smooth this song is. I like the sexy bass lines. I like that it's a little edgy. It talks about, Tyler's verse in particular about, he might flirt with others, but you're the main. You're my main. I appreciate that, especially like when I think about the cuffing season. Sometimes you got a lot happening, but you got that one that you're holding hopes out for, right? Like if you're my number one, and I don't know. There's just so much happening that I like. I like the guitar sounds. I like all the neo soul lyrics and harmonizing. Like it's just all there. This is like a smooth song, and the horns are comical. Like I don't know if they're actually needed for this song, but I feel like they do add something. I couldn't tell you what it was, but it's cool.
Beg to differ, my friend. Beg to differ. This feels like amateur hour on this beat. I think Brent's lead vocal is great. Tyler obviously puts in a good feature pretty much always. He's reliable. The thing that I don't like about this song is the beat and the ad-libs. Basically the production. Like, I will give you the smoothness. I think the bass line is great. I do not like the way the drums hit in this. I think they're way too aggressive for a slow jam. Then you get like these echoey, almost gunshot drums on the chorus, which just totally take me out of it. Plus then you get the like stereotypical rap air horns, which
Ain't nobody want to hear those ever again.
you said maybe they're too much. I think they are too much, absolutely. You have to be making a wink and a nod like Tyler does on his most recent record if you're going to use those horns. In a song like this, they just feel completely out of place. But the thing that really messes me up is Brent's ad-libs. He's delivering this really soulful R&B performance, and then he's just popping up at the end of each line with these like, yeah, uh-huh. Like, they just don't need to be there. It takes away from the emotion of the lyric. I don't think it needs to be in there at all. Like, I think this is a good song that they just didn't know when to stop in the studio. They were like, oh, what if we had this? And what if we had that? And like, it would have been fine. It would have been fine, but they just kept adding, and I think it became a little too much. Do I think it fits cuffing season? Yeah, I think so. I think it captures the emotional complexity of cuffing season and like the desire to be with somebody even though it's complicated. And yeah, I'm with you. I really struggle with the production on this one.
I'm not gonna try to like fight Taylor's criticism on the production. I thought it was fine. I wasn't like upset about it. I think it got the point across, you know, like I didn't hate it. You know, sure there's probably some ad libs in there. Yeah, the rap air horns like probably a little too much, but I mean whatever. I feel like my personal like critique of this is in regarding like my perspective of cuffing season is that I feel like for me it's very much like I'm trying to find the lyrics here. He's kind of like, don't act like I'm average. And it's like, you know, that sort of like sets up like almost like a hierarchy that we were kind of like saying was like, well, this doesn't really exist during this time frame. And I don't know, I don't feel like I'm ever trying to really puff my chest. Like I'm not like trying to be like a hyper masculine kind of dude that's like, I'm gonna snag this chick because I'm alpha. You know, like that's literally not in my playbook. So like it doesn't like resonate with me in that way, but I can see how it would resonate with a lot of other people who just sort of need that person to be like, yeah, man, you're not average, you know, like you're better than that. You're like, you don't need her. There's plenty of other people out there. And that sort of like mentality doesn't really like do anything for me, I guess. But I do think that like being like, yeah, you don't need this person is like, I can definitely like have that as a perspective of like valid to get yourself in the right mind space so you can just be like, yeah, I'm gonna try to find somebody and who cares what happens. But yeah, I mean, I always love a Tyler feature, as I would. And you know, I don't know, this song was fine. I think it was smooth. It's creamy. It's gonna fit right on the playlist, on with a whole bunch of songs, and I think it'll be a good addition.
Gonna trash me at my own challenge. Can't believe this. Cannot believe this. Okay, so just out of curiosity, whose idea, like, who do you think put the horns in this song?
Well, the Apple Music listing for this song includes Brent, Tyler, and 2 different producers.
This is the second one. This is the first one. No, it's the first one.
I mean, I don't know, but I feel like it seems like the kind of song that got passed around a lot, like production by committee.
I don't know about all that, but
wow. Okay, well that's fine. No, I totally respect it. Your guys' songs killed it. Mine had, you know, it was a little. It needed something more. I totally understand, but with that,
it needed less is what it actually needed, but that's fine.
Oh, damn, God. Okay, God, I see you.
Listen,
yeah.
Brent's
God,
on the radar.
You know, I was really trying to go to B-sides here, but, you know, I just getting sucker punched, getting cobra punched, just like, just right in the face. All right, B-sides, you got them. We want to hear them. Who's your backup? Who's your side piece?
Drive Away With You by Jill Andrews, Take Away by Kate Nash, that stupid Meet Me at Our Spot song that's everywhere right now. You know, Caught a Vibe, Baby Are You blah, 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 whatever they're saying. Hate that song, do think it's appropriate. And then the truest B-side, the one that I could not believe that Sean didn't pick, I was appalled that Sean didn't pick it. Love Song by Lana Del Rey.
Oh,
is it off her new album?
It's off of Norman Rockwell.
Oh, okay.
I haven't listened to the new one, but I've heard it's not very good.
I haven't listened to it either.
So hot, you're hurting my feelings. Bunny's a writer. Well, I just like Caroline Polachek. I'm gonna get her on here. Caroline Polachek is gonna be on this playlist before the end of the year. I'm mark my words. Heart to Break by Kim Petras. You know, we gotta get Kim back. It's been too long. And then, you know, just a little Upside Down by Diana Ross and Pressure by Ari Lennox. Ari's gonna get on here too. I love that song. So good. Only for Tonight by Burl Charles. That's it.
Do we have any Eurythmics or Ari Lennox on here? Wow. Hard to believe.
I really only had one that stuck out to me because I listened to like a bunch of stuff this morning trying to like figure out what I wanted to do. And it's kind of a classic for me at least, but Space Age Love Song by the Flock of Seagulls.
Ooh.
It's just kind of like a weird song.
That could have been
it's
fun.
Just it's like an optimistic love song, and I wasn't sure if that's really where I wanted to go. Because sometimes I feel like I want to pick something more contemporary. Like I don't want to just continue to lean on like songs that I know every week. There's lots of other stuff to look at out there. So, but that would have been my classic pick if I would have done that, just because I think they're a funny band.
Underappreciated.
Yeah, they had some hits.
That's the right word.
Well, Tyler, if people want to attach themselves to you this season, where can they do that?
Not gonna give my phone number out again. I've done that too many times on this show, but you can find my design illustration work at rudepets.club, and as always, you can find me on the socials as rudepetsclub on Instagram and Twitter.
Sean, if people want to recommend a long series for you and your wife to watch this winter, where can they do that?
Oh yeah, find me on Instagram at TallySean.
And if you want to give me recommendations for very carb-heavy baking so I can prepare to hibernate for the winter, you can find me on the socials at TC Olmstead. All of these songs will be on the official No Repeat podcast playlist. We are off to record our monthly bonus show, Billy Joe Armstrong's Middle School Notebook, where we talk about what's new in the music industry and debrief on our last month's episodes. You can get access to that by subscribing to our Patreon for just $1 a month. The link will be in the show notes for that. And we'll talk to you next week on another episode of No Repeat.